CBP officials push back on the call to defund police as Acting Commissioner Mark Morgan firmly defends the men and women of law enforcement agencies across the country. One America's Christina Bobb has more from Washington.
Customs and Border Protection is the largest law enforcement agency in our country. With the recent calls to defund police, I wanted to understand how that was affecting them. I sat down with Acting Commissioner Mark Morgan to discuss.
What happened to Mr. Floyd was tragic. And I truly believe, I think as a country, the irony is the country, we're 100% united in that tragedy, and those officers should be held accountable. But defunding the police is not the answer. We need to have meaningful, intellectually honest discussion to get us to getting better, to make sure that the communities, their trust is there and it's improved in the communities and the people that we serve. We should be talking just like the President's executive order. Hey, can we do something to use best practices, improve accreditation of law enforcement organizations across the country?
Communities need to have meaningful discussion, not defund their police department. Discussions that would lead to positive change.
Should we be talking about enhanced training, innovative, persistent, ongoing training? There's even a suggestion about maybe we could hire non-sworn, like social workers, for example, that could come in and actually augment a police department. Those are the honest, actionable items we can talk about so that law enforcement can get better in this country. And that costs money. I tell you, I've worked for 5 law enforcement agencies in my career over 2.5 decades, and I can tell you this much is we're not going to improve the situation by less officers.
While CBP considers alternative measures to improve tactics, they continue to step up and provide support to local communities during this time of unrest.
CBP is actually the largest law enforcement agency in the United States. So early on, we were watching and we were concerned as well. And immediately when the protests, I think many of them started off to be lawful and peaceful, were hijacked. And we know that. We saw it live in color on TV. They were hijacked by outside agitators using Antifa-like tactics, and also just by criminal thugs that were burning and looting cities across this country. And so we were asked to help. We were asked to help here in the National Capital Region, and we were also asked to help in 11 cities throughout this country to help law enforcement departments, local police departments, as well as other federal agencies to help restore law and order.
CBP worked to restore law and order during the protests alongside several other federal agencies, all while protecting the crowds as they chant to defund the police.
We were asked, along with other federal agencies, to come in and to provide a variety of protection, like, for example, protecting the monuments. And that's exactly what we did. We also had we called a QRF, a quick reactionary force that we had in case the Park Police or Secret Service needed help protecting different locations in the National Capital Region. And we did that, and we were prepared to do that. Now, throughout the country, the type of assistance varied. Sometimes they wanted technical assistance, like from the air. We provided helicopters. We provided fixed wing, as well as drones to provide surveillance for the law enforcement for criminal activity. And that's what's key. There's a false narrative out there that we were trying to surveil and get information on lawful, peaceful protesters. That's just false. It's just a lie.
False narratives plague law enforcement agencies and incite violence over a lie. CBP remains committed to using good sense and practical judgment to keep law and order.
It just makes sense. If another law enforcement agency needs help, we're going to help them.
How exactly does CBP provide support to local law enforcement?
In upstate New York, there was a vehicle that intentionally ran over some of the protesters. Well, we had an airplane in the sky. And so we saw it right away, and our pilots followed the vehicle. And part of their assistance actually led to the arrest of the individual driving the car. We actually found out later, they were actually police officers that had been run over.
CBP stays committed to defending our country amidst the call to defund the police. I'm Christina Bobb for One America News, Washington.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.